Hello there guys, it's Ebird Online and I have another review from Before the 90 Days. And this is Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8, and today we're going to discuss Tom and Darcey. And as we all know, this relationship has limped along, more or less since the first day that they ever met. And so we're going to take a little trip down memory lane and also look at their final meeting. And finally, resulting from comments made at that final meeting, Tom's subsequent apologies on social media. Unfortunately guys, he didn't apologise for being an absolute and utter total dickhead. But we continue. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed already, and also follow me on Twitter at mbird99. So let's get straight into it. So we first see Darcey and she's telling production that it's been 3 weeks since she found out that Tom was with another woman. And when she says that, I'm guessing she means Tom was photographed with another woman, because I don't personally believe that any human being could find Tom attractive. And then Tom tells production, I didn't sleep as I was so anxious. I still do have romantic feelings for Darcey. Really? And guys, I want you to remember this statement because this is one of the biggest lies that Tom has told. So as you know, when we last met Tom and Darcey, they'd just met in a restaurant for a coffee to talk about their relationship. And so Darcey sits down in front of Tom, and Tom's sitting there cross-legged, holding his chin in his forefinger and thumb, looking for all the world, like a Poundland James Bond baddie. He tells Darcey he travelled in from Toronto. What were you doing? Darcey asks. I was doing a promo. Really? Who would want Tom? Literally, who? I'm not asking this question rhetorically. I actually want to know who. And when I listen to Tom and his Fantasyland bollocks, I always think it's an absolute shame that he can't Photoshop his personality as well. He still wouldn't be palatable, but it would be better. And then Tom asks, how was Malta? And apparently Darcey travelled to Malta on holiday for her 45th birthday. And she says, yeah, it was really good, although unfortunately I was waiting for a call from you. You texted me and said you'd call me later, but you never did. And he said, well, I did want to come and see you. And sorry, it wasn't enough. And she said, well, yeah, I guess it didn't fit into your schedule. And he said, well, you fit into my schedule now. I'm here now, aren't I? Yes, you are, Tom, and we all wish you weren't. And then Tom said, what actually happened to us? And Darcey was being real when she said, Tom, you close off, you disappear once you leave America and you go back to the UK, and I never hear from you. And Tom lied again and said, I don't ever want to hurt you. Again, guys, I want you to remember this statement. So remember, I have romantic feelings for her, and I don't ever want to hurt you. And then Darcey said, what do you think happened? And Tom said, you're not always there for me. You're very preoccupied with yourself. Darcey, you see yourself as something other than what you are. Tom, so do you. Pot, kettle and black in no particular order. I can't actually believe I'm listening to this from Tom's own mouth. And then Tom almost went into this preset diatribe. And now you guys know that I'm a Darcey sympathiser, but I will admit, along with the best of them, that Darcey doesn't always listen to what other people are saying. And she is extremely self-involved. However, she was sitting back at this meeting and listening to what Tom had to say. And then Tom suddenly started saying, but you're butting in. You don't ever let me say what I want to say. And she was sitting back and just letting him say what he wanted to say. And he started waffling. And then she said, you're covering up something. And suddenly that changed the whole tenor of the meeting. And Tom said, what do you want to hear? What do you want to hear? The Ebird can tell you what we want to hear, Tom. We want to hear that you're sorry for stringing Darcey along from the very start, because we know very well from the first moment that you met Darcey, you weren't really interested. We want to hear that you're sorry for lying to everybody and pretending that you own companies that you don't own and that you have a lifestyle that you don't live. We want you to say I'm sorry for messing around with somebody who's extremely fragile mentally, just for your own social media gain. And most of all, we want to hear you're sorry just for being you, Tom. Just for being you. But none of that happened. Darcey simply said, I saw that you're on social media with somebody else. And then Tom said, the person you're referring to is Shannon, and I met her 3 weeks ago. Phew, panic over. 2.5 weeks ago, Shannon left him because she realised that Tom is a gargantuan cock. For a moment there, I thought Tom had managed to pull. Of course he hasn't. But he continued, I met someone who loves me the way I want to be loved. In 3 weeks, Tom. So in 3 weeks, she's falling in love with you and proved to you that she's capable of loving you the way you want to be loved. Apparently he met her at Milan Fashion Week. And since then he's been in Toronto. So I wonder, how much time can you have actually spent with this woman? How would you know such a thing? And this goes to prove to me that it's just trying to hurt Darcey. Why would you say someone who loves me the way I want to be loved? He's ridiculous. And Darcey tells production, I thought we were figuring out where we stood, and it hurts to know the truth. Oh Darcey, that's not the truth. He found some desperate fool who probably wanted some social media clout as well, and he's posed with her and pretended to have a relationship. More than likely just so he could get the upper hand with you. And then Tom said, you had everything of me in your hands and you couldn't see it. You were so preoccupied with other things, and it was hard to listen to all your diatribe about Jessie. And for those of you who don't know who Jessie is, I absolutely envy you. I wish I didn't. Lucky you. Jessie is Darcey's ex-boyfriend who treated her awfully, and they had a really contentious breakup. And of course, Tom is now friends with Jessie. And then he continued, I wish I could have loved you like he did. Jessie never loved Darcey. Jessie was just a kid with big ideas of moving to America and a ridiculous overinflated ego. And so why would you say such a thing? It's as if Tom's just saying anything. None of this makes any sense. But remember when I said, listen to these two things. I still have romantic feelings for her. No, you didn't, Tom, because otherwise you would never have posted pictures with another woman online. You would never have then said to her, she loves me the way I want to be loved, if you wanted to get back with Darcey. And he also said, I don't ever want to hurt you. You know very well that by delivering this news in such a nasty and cold and callous way was certainly bound to hurt her. So again, another lie from Gaslighting Tom. And why do I call him Gaslighting Tom? Because we all know he never loved her in the first instance, and he's always trying to make out, Darcey, it's all your fault that we never got together. If we'd have gone to Gran Canaria, you would have had a ring. No, she wouldn't. You look at her with an absolute look of disdain on your face, and you know you do. He was never about to marry her. You've always tried to spin it as if you could love her, but she always messes it up. You weren't a match from the word go. Darcey's too blind to see it because she just wants to be in a relationship. But you, Tom, you knew it from the word go. And you were never straight because you wanted your social media clout. And Darcey tells production, he's spinning this on me, he's deflecting, he's gaslighting just to make himself feel better. And finally, her eyes are open, she can see. None of this is real. It's all a big game to Tom. Tom turned up to the meeting saying, I don't know what's going to happen. If you're with someone else who's in love with you and you're in love with her, you knew what was going to happen. Why the lies? And Darcey continues, oh my God, this guy's just stabbed me in the back. No, he didn't, Darcey. As always, he stabbed you right in the front. You saw it coming, I saw it coming, we all saw it coming. You should never have given him his 15 minutes, and you should never have gone to meet him. He only wanted the meeting for a bit of extra clout. And then Tom says, I want to stay friends. And when Darcey tells him, nope, I don't want to be friends, I need a fresh start, you move on with your life, you're nothing to me right now, he spat back nastily, I'm glad, try and not ruin the next relationship. And it's clear he only wants to be friends with her so he can have random screen time and keep up his profile. And I know Darcey has her problems. Every time I look at her I think, Darcey, eyebrows, Darcey, lips, Darcey, your hair extensions, are they by Mattel? Darcey, do you have a sausage making machine that you climb into each morning to force you into your clothes? Or does somebody come in and spray paint them on? But for some reason I still love Darcey. Perhaps I oughtn't, but I do. And I feel like Darcey's a stray piece of glitter in a world that's lost its sparkle. And I genuinely believe that Darcey needs a period of solitude just so she can pull herself together before she tries to jump into another relationship, although I'm not sure she'll give herself the time. And Darcey said, I'm gonna go. And then Tom pursed the paper cut he calls his lips and said, have you put on weight? What a little bitch. And Darcey said, pardon? And he don't repeat himself. Okay, Tom, you've lost a bit of weight and you've toned up so that you look good for this meeting. But let me be frank, you're not good looking enough to have such a grotesque personality. You really are a disagreeable character. And Darcey said, have a nice life. And he said, I will now, you're not in it. This is the person who never wanted to hurt her. And Tom lied yet again to production, and he said, turning up, I was hoping something could be salvaged, but she just wanted to say what she wanted to say. Absolute crap, Tom. She gave you a chance to say what you wanted to say, but you decided to chat rubbish. You have another girlfriend who you've already posted on social media. You had to know that that would get back to Darcey, so you didn't want to salvage anything, and you knew it would turn sour. And just when I think that Tom can't provide a narrative any more nonsensical or preposterous, Tom, well, he proves me wrong, time and again. So Tom has since apologised for the fat-shaming comment, and his apology was as subpar as his personality, and the first thing that he decided to do was to try and deflect yet again. So remember when Darcey first went to London to meet Tom? and he'd posted all these pictures of himself looking lean and thin and an awful lot younger. And she said, well, he's not a supermodel, but I want a real relationship with a guy. Tom posted that, insinuating that she'd called him fat. But if we remember back, Tom actually said himself, oh God, I'm really worried because I look significantly different than my photos. So you knew what you'd done. You knew you were far pudgier than your photos suggested. But she didn't say it nastily, she was saying it realistically. And so he tried to say, when I say it, it's terrible, but when she says it, it's fine. When you said it, it was nasty and uncalled for. When she said it, it was as a response to producers asking her, what do you think of Tom's appearance? And she had to admit, yes, it's significantly different. But then when social media watchers handed Tom his own arse back on a plate, he then made his second subpar apology. And he said the following, I'm not perfect, you don't say. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and we all have said things we wish we could take back. Unfortunately, we can't. I acknowledge what I did was very inappropriate. I am truly sorry for what I said, and I take full responsibility for it. And as if to prove that he's a liar right until the end, he then said, the edit is out of context. Tom, it doesn't matter if it's out of context or not. Either you said it or you didn't. You know very well it was a nasty thing to say just as Darcey was leaving. You could have just left it. You chose not to. You need to understand the definition of full responsibility before you take it. Also, if his apology was real and heartfelt, he would have made it to Darcey. He didn't. He made it to social media followers, which proves he just wanted to clean up his image and not really to apologise. And so guys, let me know what you think of this whole episode. Was Tom a nasty little biatch for the weight comment, or do you think it was par for the course? I personally think this is more or less the lowest that Tom has sunk, and whilst I've suggested that Darcey, you need to be on your own and work on yourself before you go into another relationship, I don't intrinsically think she's a bad or mean person. Yes, she can be a little competitive, and yes, she can be a little self-obsessed, but she doesn't seek to make others unhappy like you do, Tom. Tom, I suggest for you do a little soul searching, and you might just find you have one. It's quite shocking to me that someone who thinks so highly of himself can go so low. Darcey's got heels higher than Tom's standards. And that's about it for these two. I'm glad it's finally over and they've finally drawn a line under it. I feel as if this relationship finished at the tell-all last season, if I'm honest. And I don't know why TLC decided to drag it out. So let me know what you think in comments down below. And I'll see you very soon with another video. Please don't forget to like and share. And also please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so. You've been listening to Ebird Online. Thanks so much for listening. Ciao for now.